Alright guys, this video is a little overdue. I appreciate all the emails that I received asking questions about the Legend, and I held off on replying to most of them that were in depth about the Legend due to the NDA. I'm still under the NDA, but I'll answer some of them now that Delic's video is out saying what the production model will have. So my prototype only had the 4 selections. It didn't have the 1, 2, 4, the different modes, the different multi-frequency modes that she's putting out there. And there were a lot of suggestions that I didn't know who the other testers were at the time. Now I know who a few of them were. But at the time, during testing, I wasn't sure. And I was sending a lot of feedback in. I actually had a couple calls with her, and the engineers were there, and discussing back and forth on certain things. And it's cool to know that some of them will be in the finalized version. Some of the questions that were answered was the iron bias. She brought that up, and the new multi-mode. So that's pretty cool. Each mode, it'll be like the Equinox, how we have a 1 and 2. I don't know any details on what's in that 1 and 2 or anything like that for the Legend. But a lot of the emails were like, what's it like in iron, and how fast is it, how deep is it? I showed that video in my deep test garden. My huskies are over there going crazy. I showed the comparison over there. Hey, will you kids knock it off? Be good. I'm making a video over here. Stop it. So it's a deep machine. It's right there with the Equinox when it comes to depth, and recovery looked good too from the recovery test that I did. So I would say that they're close with each other on that. The iron bias was a big thing that I asked for certain reasons, and a lot of it has to do with having the option. So Delic did say it's an easy option to add if people want it, so that's good to know. I was hoping it made it into the final model because of just for competition reasons. So the Equinox has it. I like it. I use it a lot. I use it a lot when I have a short amount of time to hunt. To be honest, the Vanquish 540 has a high and low, and my father uses it on high all the time. He goes out and he uses it on high. He does not care if he's missing things. If he's missing things, it's less. He's 66 years old. He doesn't want to get down for every signal if it could be crap. That's where the filter comes in. If you have an Equinox and you just turn it on and that's your go-to, you turn it on and hunt in Park 1, you're using iron bias of an F26. So I didn't understand why it was so easy for them to add and they didn't. Now I've been using the Deus this week on a lot of tests, and I'll throw a clip in there on some of it was just one of the tests that I did so far. I have the 9-inch coil. The 9-inch coil in most of its multi-modes will not hit the deep targets that I have. That's the difference in soil conditions. The video that I made was kind of a collaboration back and forth with John down in South Carolina, showing him the difference in soil, and just this video that I'll put in here is just a clip of playing with bottle cap reject. But this Deus has silencer, it has bottle cap reject, it has a relic mode that's like the Goldfield mode, and it has an IAR, ion discrimination. That relic mode will hit the deep coins in my garden, but it's VCO tone. So you don't have an option really to change the tones. It's a gold mode for deep stuff, and it does, but it's like and it hits it high off my coins. But that's not a program that I would generally hunt with, unless I was looking for, like, I don't even know. I wouldn't hunt with it. My relic sites, I have the deep garden, but honestly on my relic sites nothing is really that deep, and if it is, there's so much iron pollution around it that I'm not going to punch through it. Anyway, so back to the iron bias. These machines, the Equinox has 2 different settings, and it has FE, F2, which they work completely separately from each other. If you're an FE, you're an FE. If you're an F2, you're an F2. It doesn't matter what your FE is set at. But like I said, if you are an Equinox user and you like things simple, you turn that machine on, you're in Park 1 recovery speed, I think 5, and your iron bias is at F26. So you're not digging deep iron. If I have it on F26, I'm not digging horseshoes, I'm not digging ox shoes, I'm not digging bottle caps, and all of this you can try with it. Now, is it an ideal mode to relic hunt in? No. I use it if I have a short amount of time or I find a new site. So if I find a new site, I work 60 hours during the week. Most of my hunting is on the weekends. So if I find a new site on the map, then I'm like, let me drive by and check this out. Or if I'm on my dual sport bike, I have the Vanquish in a saddlebag, I stop by, pull in, go over, see if I can cherry pick anything quick, and I go, oh, there's good stuff here. Next time I'll be back with a low iron bias. Most of my sites that I hit, I will hit with a higher iron bias and then a lower iron bias, most of the time on different days. And that's the way I do it. Like I said, my father, high iron bias all the time. A lot of people that are upper in age will, or that have a disability of some kind, will like a higher iron bias because it does recover fast. And I played with the silencer on the Deus. I played with the bottle cap reject that I put a clip in here for somewhere in this video or at the end. You'll see that. The bottle cap reject will hit a coin right under the bottle cap. It like ignores it. So these are filters that are in the machine because they want you to have the option, the Equinox. That machine is fully opened up to whatever you would like to do. The Deus 2 is fully opened up to any way that you'd like to customize it and gives you those options. Do most hunters probably go out if they're experienced, like Delix said, and use an FE0? Yes, FE0 on the Equinox or Silencer 0 on the Deus is the way to hunt if you're looking for everything. Will Silencer on the Deus 2 mask? Yes. Will iron bias on the Equinox mask? Yes. Will it recover good? Yeah, it still recovers really good. I mean, you have the option to use an F2, 6 and bump up your recovery speed and still hunt great. That's why it's there. They give you the options. I don't understand Nokta's saying that it's easy to add, but they don't want us to mask good targets. Well, okay, engineers, I get that, but give us the option, because if you are a Park 1 hunter or someone who likes to mask out bottle caps and things like that, then you are going to want to have control over that iron bias. A lot of you watching will say, no, I don't. I want it fully open. And that's your choice. But it's your choice, right? You have a choice. You don't have a choice with the Legend unless people say we want that choice. Maybe they won't. If you're a simplex user and you go to the Legend, it's a tremendous upgrade because you didn't have an iron bias in the simplex and you now will with and you're not going to have it with the Legend, so it's not going to make a difference. But you have that option. When it comes to the Deus 2, the tones, I really like the new square tones. They sound really good. The options are fully in there for you. The Deus 1, I had that for a while. I got rid of it because I didn't like the tones, and to be honest, the Deus 1 really liked bottle caps. And now you can mask those out. You have an option to mask those out with the Deus 2, which is really cool. The 11-inch coil is on the way. I paid for this unit. No NDAs. I can say whatever I want. Paid for the full setup. I have the BH headphones, the 11-inch coil on the way, and XP didn't. They didn't ask. They didn't say to not post videos or not give my honest opinion. Certain things that I have brought up to XP are actually coming already in updates. A couple of them is when you change the silencer, when you change the reactivity, adjust the silencer. Well, an update's coming on that. What was another one? In the Equinox and the Legend, they have adjustable volume for tone bins. The Deus just has a full volume spectrum or an iron tone that you can raise and lower. That is coming too in updates. So they've been listening to what people have to say, so that's really good to know. I have some headphones coming in. You've seen a couple years ago, if you watched, I had the Deus 1, and I had some other headphones that I really like to puck in. Those are coming in today. I'll show you guys those too. I sent the picture of them to Andy O'Neill. He thinks he can hook everyone up with a good price on those too, so reach out to him and check with him on that. Yeah, there are a whole bunch of things that I really like about it. The build quality is awesome, and we'll just take it from there. like I said about the deep targets, recovery speed, it recovers very recovers very fast. Even at like a 1 or a 1.5, it recovers quick. That fast multi-frequency is not a joke. But I will be definitely putting up some more videos and more testing, comparisons with the Equinox, and what I like, what I don't like. I think that was all that I put down for suggestions, but I can check my phone because I did. Yeah, the volume by tone bin. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the headphones that go behind you that it comes with, just because of my glasses, and it seems like, I don't know, they always mess with my big ears. So the new headphones that I have coming in will help with that. And I would say with the Deus 2 to definitely read the manual at the programs. The programs are a lot different. On the Equinox, I know it uses different frequency bands per Park 1, Park 2, Field 1, Field 2, Beach. This really changes a lot per mode if you go into some of the other ones, like deep high conductor. I can get that with a recovery speed of 1, silencer 0, to sound off a little bit on my deep targets that you've seen in my deep garden that the Equinox hits on. I'm pretty confident the 11, when I get that in, will hit on it, but I'm gonna wait to show that until the 11 comes in. But that uses only up to, I think, 17 kilohertz, where the general mode uses pretty much the full spectrum, and more and more and more. And that's all in the manual too. Right at the beginning of the manual, it shows what those do. So yeah, stay tuned, more videos to come, and I will keep everyone updated. And thanks for watching. Alright, so at the end of this video, I'm going to put a bottle cap test, and then I'm going to put in a previous hunt where I was out and we were doing some digging. I was using the Vanquish 540, and I was with Bill, and he was using the Simplex. So at the time I had the Simplex and the Vanquish 540. I let him use that. It was when the Simplex first came out, and we were doing a lot of hunting and comparing signals. And you'll see how the Simplex really liked this deep, humongous piece of iron, and the Vanquish did too at low iron bias. And then on the Vanquish 540, you just hold down the horseshoe button for 2 seconds. It engages a higher iron bias, and it will tell you that it's iron, if it is. And in this case, it was a really good test. I mentioned that in the video. It showed. So like I mentioned, and like I keep talking about, you have the option of available to select a high and a low. The Vanquish is a pretty entry-level machine. The 540, I like it, chopped mine up so it sits in the saddlebag on my bike, and I can just hit the trails in the dirt on my dual sport motorcycle. So that's kind of what I'm showing. And the last two, the first one will be the bottle cap, the second will be the iron bias, showing the feature. So I'm all about the machines that don't have it, and people like that, and they like digging everything, and a lot of people do. What I'm not a fan of is holding back on options that are very easily implemented in a machine, that a lot of people will use. Examples, like I mentioned, my father, 66 years old, likes digging, likes cherry picking, and he finds a lot of good stuff because these machines these days are fast. They're fast, so you can implement some filters and still do a great job at digging out good targets. Like I said, the Deus 2 that I've been playing with this week has got 3 different filters in it. An IAR for a deep relic program. That IAR, when you actually put it up and then you go back to the hunt screen, you can see the discrimination pattern. It's probably about up to like 7 or something, where the general program has 10. Really like the new tones in the Deus 2. I'm for every machine that comes out. I'm not brand loyal at all. I'm happy that these new machines are coming out with more features. What's that mean for us? It means better prices, and it means a lot of competition out there. So when there's competition, it benefits us, right? We get great prices for great machines. And I just don't think, if you're going to challenge the Minelab Equinox with the Legend and not put a feature in there that the Equinox sent updates on and said, here's this great new feature. If you don't want to dig bottle caps, you don't have to. It has the ferro check, but in the manual it just says the ferro check is for shallow targets. I'm hoping that the update, the ferro-check, works deeper than what it is. You can see in my comparison video with the Equinox, all those deep targets give a nice tone, and the ferro-check meter is just blank. So hopefully that's one of the updates that they're working on. I haven't had any more info from DLIC or engineers since I have boxed mine back up. But I'm hoping that ferro-check is what it is, because on the prototype it did what the manual said it did. It worked on shallow targets, but anything more than, I would say, 4 to 5 inches, it was just a blank screen with a good tone, even on, say, like bottle caps and things like that. So, and hopefully that they're working on filters and things like that in the background, that these new 1s and 2s that they're implementing will help for, because it just means great things for all of us too. The more options out there for great machines, like, is the bottom line is better prices, and we have a great selection. Nokta is a top line company. XP top line, MindLab, XP, and these three are competing. They're competing over over time. There's going to be tons of Deus updates, Equinox updates, I'm sure Legend updates. So it's all great things for us. I wish the best for all these companies, but I'm going to tell it how it is, and I wish that Legend had the options that the other machines do. So we will see with the new updates, and hopefully it's a great machine. Yeah, it's doing good. I got the reactivity right now at 2.5. It seems like giving it a little bit of a longer tone will actually help it out too, with telling you what it is. That's a 1/4 right next to the bottle cap. Let's put it right on it. Not that you can see the screen, but I'm just letting you know. So yeah, that's pulling it through. It does good. Yeah, so that's bottle cap 5. It's completely knocking it out. Let me go down and see where the bottle cap comes in. Yeah, so that's silencer, bottle cap 5. Let's go 4. This 3, 2. Okay, so that's bottle cap 2. Go back to 3. 3. It really varies. It seems like it varies how close I am to it. 3, and then 4. 4, the varying kind of stops. Yep, and then 5. Yeah, let me throw something else next to it. So that's good to know. Have you tried any putting anything right under it? Let's see. Let's put a 1/4 right under it. Let's see what this filter is doing. Wow. So that's grabbing the 1/4 right under the bottle cap. And it's given, oh, let me back out. It's given, I know you can't see my screen. It's given an ID of 95. It's IDing it. Can you see that? That's pretty good. I mean, it's a new bottle cap. I'm sure it'll do even better with an older bottle cap, with some rust on it. But yeah, that'd be really good at the beach, parks. Look at that. Bottle cap 5, and it's still, let me put the 1/4 right on it. No, it doesn't care. You can hear the clip in the audio when it's right, I mean, that's right next to it. You can hear the clip in the audio. That's, like I said, that's 2.5. Let me, reactivity, let me go down to 2. This is 1.5. Reactivity 1. This is reactivity 0.5. Reactivity 0. Damn, man. So even reactivity 1, I kind of like that because it's got, a little bit longer of a tone. 1.5. me get the quarter out of there. I guess it's going to be like to find the sweet spot on the reject of the sites you're at. But that's, yeah, that's pretty impressive. It doesn't seem, it clips when it's next to it because it's firing, you know, and hitting the quarter right after it. Right after it leaves the bottle cap. But man, right on it, right under it, it's going to be great for beach hunters. It's like no masking. No masking with it, unless it's like right next to it. I'm sure if it's below or above plane, you might get a little more. That's some more testing there to do, but yeah, that thing works pretty good. So this is a good example of having the option, even on the fly, to check with an iron bias high-low like the Vanquish has, or you know, on the Equinox it's adjustable. So that was just showing it was a good signal. Now this is showing it's iron. That's the high iron bias.
Is saying iron. Oh, no. Let me go to the low iron bias setting. Right there. So with the low, this is a good test. With the low iron bias setting right here, it's picking this up. With the factory of the high iron bias setting, it's knocking it out. Let's see what it is. Oh, I was in the wrong spot?
So that's the simplex showing a good signal.
I'm thinking it's another big iron tool or something, you know what I mean? Because this likes those. Your machine doesn't like iron, brother.
Well, that's the high iron bias. Now, let's go to the low. Yeah, right there. That's where yours is.
So you have the option of digging or not. Save some time or investigate it, but right at your fingertips you have the option to test.
I'll swing over it. Or something. Ooh, what is it?
Gigantic iron.
Gigantic iron. Yeah. Oh my God.
So that's it's humongous, like iron pipe or something, if I remember correctly. This was a couple years ago.
Oh, you got it. Wow.
Yeah.
So the Vanquish completely ignored that with the high iron bias setting, but the AT Pro and the Simplex liked it.
Yeah, we tested the AT
So
Pro and the
Vanquish gives you
Simplex.
the option of going to the higher iron bias setting and completely ignoring that big iron.
But then you completely miss the sword. Yeah.